My name is Catherine Inosu, and I'm taking this drama 15 in order to fulfill my general ed. For the oral presentation, the play, we read several plays in the class, but the one I'm going to talk about today is the play of The Golden Child by David Henry Hwang. The Golden Child is inspired by the story of David Henry Hwang's great-grandfather, who converted to Christianity around the early 20th century. That story was being told by his grandmother. The story reimagines the wrenching changes he set in motion, which forever changed the world of his 3 wives and his daughter. During that time, Chinese society had polygamous families. I have to expatiate on his grandfather, and then his name is Ng Tieng Bin. Ng Tieng Bin, he left his 3 wives and went to sojourn in the Philippines for 3 years. On his return, while he was in the Philippines actually, he met some Christians whom he liked. They were very friendly with him, and they were very open. So he liked their friendliness and openness, and they were able to convert him to Christianity. So he became a Christian while in the Philippines. So on his return to China after 3 years, he is now a Christian, but the problem was that he is now torn between his devotion to his 3 wives and his new religion, that is Christianity. And as a matter of fact, the Christian ethics forbids polygamous families, so he either has to divorce 2 of the wives and get legally married to 1. So that is the only option he has to take. So Ng Tieng Bin, though he was fascinated not only by the new religion, by the new religious belief, and the fact that the Western culture puts the individual first and the family second, he himself was struggling with his Chinese culture. He was confronted with severe opposition from his wives, as his 3 wives and his children. His senior wife was the one that was really touched. She told him that the fact that something is new simply means that that thing has not disappointed you. So Aha, his daughter, quickly took instant advantage. And his daughter quickly took instant advantage of his father's questioning of the Chinese tradition. She grumbles that her bound feet, because it's a tradition in China that for girls that their feet has to be bound. So Anne, his daughter, grumbles that her bound feet are painful and smelly. So the grandmother's decision to unbound the grandfather's decision, to unbound the grandmother's feet, is in a way of reversing a century-old tradition which turned women into cripples in the name of feminine beauty. Suddenly, Ng Tieng Bin stomped over to his eldest daughter, Anne, and ripped the bindings off her feet. The senior wife quickly snapped, "Don't you care about your daughters? Don't you want them to marry? Someday, no person of fine class would marry a girl whose feet are unbound." That was a statement made by the senior wife. Eng Tian Bin, he quickly responded that this is a new century. These are new times. That his daughters will be educated. They will go to school, learn to read and write, just like a man may be even, just like a man, and they may even go to college. He said, he told his senior wife in response that he has seen so many things during his trip overseas to the Philippines, and that he has talked to and even made friends with even white people and Western people, that the times are changing and you will see one day. He told her, he made sure he reassured her that the times have changed and that she will see it one day. In such circumstances, Eng Tian Bin was saying that in such circumstances, that his grandfather needed a heart of oak to unbind his daughter's feet. He needed extra courage in breaking with traditions, knowing he was risking the future of his children and that he would be criticized for his actions. But of course, he didn't care about it at this time. He must have struggled with his senior wife and then with the ghost of his own ancestors in order to unbind the feet of his daughter. And for two of his three wives, the story, of course, ends in death. So basically, the story of the golden child is like a clash, between the old and the new religion. It's like a clash between the old and the new culture. Excuse me. So there's a clash of cultures. But since Eng Tian Bin has been converted, he doesn't care whatever the culture in China is at this time, because he knows that the times have changed, and even though he unbounds the feet of his daughter, they will still get married someday. They will still be educated. It does not hinder them from doing anything. That all those beliefs are superstitious belief that has no meaning anymore to him. And eventually, two of his wives died. So, any question? I think I really love this class. I really loved this Drama 15 class, and I will recommend it to anybody to take with Professor Fulieno, because she is very inspiring, very encouraging. Whatever you can rate a good professor, she really merits it. I am very glad I took this class, and as a matter of fact, I took it through the summer. I know it's a lot of work. They said nothing good comes easy. But I am happy it has actually come to an end, and I have learned a lot. Before I took this class, I knew there was racism in this country, all over, everywhere, but I didn't really know the extent. But when I read the plays, the various plays we read in this class, it widened my knowledge. It really exposed me to know the extent. I got to see the extent of the damage that racism has really done in this country, as a matter of fact. And Americans has been able to pull through it, despite all the oppositions. You know, I got to know more about especially Latino Americans and the Asian Americans. You know, I was exposed to really learning about them. So many things, and all the struggle, even the migrant farm workers' son. You know, I really appreciate the work they do. Even though most of them are undocumented immigrants, they do a lot of work. They work in the farms, and I enjoy eating the fruits from these farmers. You know, I really appreciate the work they do. So, in conclusion, I will generally say that this is a good class and I recommend it to anybody to take it with Professor Folino. Thank you.